This topic right here is the topic of ADD. I myself am ADD or ADHD, whatever you want to call it. I lost track of it, forgot about it through my 20s and 30s. Maybe mid 30s is when I kind of remembered. Well, actually, early 30s when I got married. I realized that's what I had, and why I am the way I am. There's a lot involved in it for me, and understanding how people like me fit in society, or the way it is now in the Western world, or has been for the past 40 years, which is as about as long as I've been alive, is that people like me don't fit into the society that we try to create for ourselves in America, in the Western world, South Texas mostly, which is where I'm from. And I know it's different. Like, my culture deals with people like me a certain way, and I'm sure other cultures deal with those people, those type, whatever culture they're in, however they deal with those types of people. It's difficult for me in the workplace, difficult for me in school to try to fit in. When I try to fit in, it is difficult for me to be myself, because there's so many rules, there's so many constraints. And me personally, I'm like, if I try it like that, it's not going to work for me. So guess one of the things that come to mind is, okay, I got to make money in society, right? I want to be married in society, and I want to have kids, you know what I mean? I had those thoughts also, like other people out there. It's just, I don't fit into the mold that society has created. It's a genetic thing. This is how I am. That's how my genetics are. My parents, somebody in my family had it. I have it, and we're led to believe that there's something wrong with us because we do have it, which is dumb, because you're basically saying, oh, it's because of your genetics. It's like, well, dude, I can't do nothing about it. It sucks to be in that boat when we live in a society that doesn't necessarily accept us. Society doesn't accept us. We're weird. We're out of place. We're out of pocket. Some of us try to hide it, and some of us make it far that way. For me, when I try, I go contrary to who I want to be, and it's difficult to do that. So I just like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. And I still, to this day, people make fun of me, make this, they chipper behind my back and chipper on the side of my ear, because y'all went to school with people like me. What happens to us? We get bullied. We get casted out. Man, I'll never forget, I was in middle school. There was this one kid named Jonathan. He was like a white boy, like a white kid, Caucasian, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to sound racist or whatever, but he was a white boy. Because in my school, there's nothing but Hispanics. There's probably like 60, 70% Mexican Americans, Hispanic, whatever. 20%, maybe 30% black, African American, like 10% white. Well, this one dude, Jonathan, they always picked on this guy. We always bullied him. I didn't bully him, but I seen him get bullied, you know what I mean, throughout the school year. And one day, homie just popped off, and he started wailing on this one dude. Pull, 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 pull. And everybody's like, damn, look at Jonathan. You bully. That dude that's getting bullied, he's gonna pop off. Nowadays, I know people are looking for people like me. They're looking for somebody to bully, somebody to pick on. So when I go into the gym or when I go into places, I look for them first. Going into the gym, you looking for me? I'm right here. I'm right here. You're looking for me? I'm right here. And they know that I'm looking at them, and they try to be like, "Oh, how's it going?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want you to tell me how's it going." He's like, "Oh," this one guy was like, "Oh, you don't want to know how have a nice day?" No, I don't want to have a nice day. I don't know you. And the reason why I came at him like that is because I knew he was trying to make me feel bad, trying to make me part of his mold, which I'm done with it, man. I'm done trying to fit in society, and it sucks because I gotta go to work every day, and those same people that try to put me in their mold when I was in high school, in college, they're in the workplace. Can't escape it. I can't escape it. So best thing for people like me is don't be in debt. So that way, if you do lose your job because people don't like you, because I've been fired from places where people don't like me. They want me to fit in their mold. And I'm just like, they want me to suck up to them. They want me to kiss their butt and be all up in the mix. Me, I just want to go to work, make my money, and go home. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to do my thing and go home, be with my family, be with my kids. And that's it. So I gotta be, and I know I gotta be a part of society too. You know what I mean? People think that we're dumb just because we are the way that we are with ADD, ADHD. But we're not. Like, we're probably just as smart as the next person. It's just our brain is wired different from other people, and some people don't understand that. Some people don't understand. They're just like, he's slow or he's lazy. It's like, no, dude, my brain is wired different from you. Understand? I just want to grab him by the head and like, dude, listen, I'm different. And I don't use it as an excuse. I'm glad that my dad raised me to be that way. To be like, no, you're going to work. You're going to work hard. You're going to do your thing. You're going to earn. So I don't feel sorry for myself. Whenever I tried to feel sorry for myself, my dad was like, "Nah, look what you got. Look at what you have around you." He taught me like, no, you don't feel sorry for yourself. You keep going, you keep moving, and don't let it bother you. So for people with ADD, ADHD, I'm just like, don't go into debt. Learn a skill that is valuable in the marketplace, that if you get fired, you can go to another job, because that job is in demand. Me, I'm a truck driver. There's truck drivers everywhere. If somebody at my job doesn't understand how my brain works or how the type of person that I am, they can fire me. Fine. I'll go find another truck driving job. You know, I'm not in debt. I don't owe any money. So there's not that. I'm not a slave to the bank. And I could be able to, take a hit for like a month or two or whatever to look for another job. So and it sucks because I want to say there is racism out there, but not to the degree that some people make it. You know what I mean? So if you live like in Texas, there's white people, country people, city people. You know that they're racist. Like, you can feel it. They're courteous. They're like, hello, yes, whatever. But you could tell when you walk away and when they're with their group of friends, they're talking like, oh, that Mexican, this and that, whatever. Some of them, not all of them. But you can tell. Just same thing with my race. Soon as the black guy walks away, the white guy walks away, we're there talking trash about him with the other Mexicans, the other Hispanics. We know how it is. My point is, which if we're the black or the Mexican in society, there's gonna be race. But I'm not saying it's not as big as the media makes it to be, as whatever side of the political spectrum makes it to be. I'm just saying, if you know your stuff, if you got skill, if you know your stuff, if you know what you're doing, you'll be able to find a job, and you'll be able to work alongside those racists, the people that are racist or prejudiced against you. And you'll be able to lose your job just as fast as well. But if you have a skill that's in demand, you can go somewhere else and use that skill. They don't want you at that job, just go to the next job. Get an engineering degree, something that's gonna pay you a lot of money. You know what I mean? And that's the workplace for people with ADD, ADHD. The other thing too is relationships. My wife is ADD also, like me, so we kind of can relate to each other, and in that sense, and you can tell who they are too. Like in society, if a woman is kind of like, because women have ADD, ADHD too, but they kind of mask it differently than men do, or you know what I mean? Like a girl with ADD, if she masks it, if she's like playing along with society, the way society wants her to be, whatever, it's easy for her to blend in, for a woman to blend in. For a man, it's hard for us, because like think about the little boys that are in classrooms. They're just jumping around, jumping all over the place. Girls don't do that, boys do that, you know what I mean? So it's easy for us to get recognized if we're trying to like blend in. For girls, it's not as. But my point is, like, we're able to, if we know that we have ADD, ADHD, and we've studied it, and when we understand it, we're able to see it in both sexes, male and female. So if it's somebody like me is looking for a relationship, maybe somebody that's has that in common, you know, that you can relate to, you know what I mean? You can be with that person, you know, hopefully for a lifelong commitment, just like I married my wife, and it's a lifelong commitment that we made with one another. So dating, that when it comes to finding a wife, you know, that there's one thing you can look for, because they understand the struggles of being the way we are. There are some women that stay stuck in that mask, you know, and they don't want to get out of it. They don't want to choose to be who they want to be, you know, who they are. They don't want to choose to be who they are inside. They, you know, there's, whether through peer pressure or whatever. So you got to find them when it comes to relationships. Speaking of relationships, so we're just going to another topic. That was the ADHD, ADD topic. I'll probably talk about it more. So moving on to relationships. When it comes to relationships, I've been watching a lot of videos on relationships. There's the red pill community. I just recently found Dr. Deloney, who talks to people about relationships and stuff like that. My thing is, I try to look at it from a biblical perspective, how far it's come since then. Like I'm thinking about like Leviticus, the book of Leviticus, where it talks about if a man lays with a woman like wrongly, you know, then he has to, like, if the girl's a virgin and he lays with her like out of wedlock or whatever, like in Leviticus it says that he's got to pay the father so much money, like so many shekels of silver or whatever, and he's got to stay with that lady for the rest of his life. That's the covenant that's what the law said that he had to do in Leviticus. So it's like, nowadays, if a person sleeps with a virgin, he can leave her the next day. You know what I mean? And like in Leviticus, if he sleeps with that virgin, you know what I mean? You know, the girls that's never had before, he's got to be with her the rest of his life. It's like a law that they made. So imagine if we had that today. Like, society would be a lot better, because there wouldn't be a lot of people sleeping around, which that decays a society. There's no commitment. There's selfishness. There's narcissism. Uh, what do you call it? Psychosis or whatever. So our society has gotten a long way from how the Bible has taught us. I mean, and it's still in there. Like it still applies to today. A lot of times we like to say, "Oh no, that's back then. That doesn't apply to today. We could sleep with whoever we want to, lay with whoever we want to, and next week there's another person." Yeah, you can. That's free will. That's choice. That's choice. That's free will. But is it good? Is it a good thing? No, it's not, because it's adultery, it's fornication, it's outside of the order. It's out of order. If and it's crazy. It's crazy. There's a lot, and there's a lot of good men that are being passed up. But I don't want to say that we're hopeless. I just want to say that we need to know what to look for, because society is going to be society. It's going to keep deteriorating. And I look at that from a biblical perspective as well, that there's an enemy out there, there's good and there's evil, right? The evil wants society to deteriorate. The good wants it to elevate. So society right now, as we see it, if we continue to look at it through like an evil lens, of course we're going to be hopeless. Of course we're going to keep saying like, "Oh, this guy sleeps." Of course we're going to keep seeing the woman that picked only the top 1% of people or whatever. You know what I mean? But there's a select few percentage of people that are looking for that lifelong commitment. That marriage relationship with a person. It's so misconstrued too, because there's narcissistic people out there that ruin relationships. At the end of the day, it's our choice too, right? We make a choice. We decide who we're going to let into our lives, who we're not going to let into our lives. And then we go on, and then we see people on social media complaining about the mistakes that we made. There's this verse, I think it's in the Message Bible. It's in Proverbs, right? That man makes the wrong decisions and blames God for it. It's like, how are you gonna blame God for it? You're the one that made the decisions. And I watch these videos too, where like they're in the red pill community, like Kevin Samuels and these other people, where they're talking about these women and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got these many kids, but I'm still looking for a good guy," and then they bring out God, like, "Oh, well, God's gonna find me, whatever." I'm like, man, you just said all that stuff, and then you want to mention God? It seems like you left him out of the equation that whole time. You were making all these bad decisions. Why are you gonna bring him up? Why are you gonna bring him up now? I'm not saying people can't change, but some people, if they do change, good. If they don't, they're just another statistic. They're another statistic in society that's contributing to the decay of society. That's what it is. You know what I mean? I believe in the Bible. I try to look at it from a biblical perspective, but I'm also a realist. Like, I also see like what's going on, what's real, and what's actually happening. You know what I mean? I can't snap my fingers and something changes. There's always that good and evil fighting against each other every single day. And there's these communities that contribute to the decay of society. There's groups of people that contribute to the decay of society. Are like, for instance, promiscuity, lust. There's a whole chapter in the book of Proverbs, I think chapter 6, 7, and 8, where it talks about the adulterous woman. And it tells Solomon is talking to his son and is telling him, look, this is you need to avoid that woman. You need to avoid her and look for Lady Wisdom instead, right? So the adulterous woman, it says that she leads the man that she leads the person that is gullible to like a lamb to the slaughter. A lamb, before it goes to the slaughter, it doesn't know what's gonna happen. It's just like, walking along. I'm following the adulteress. She looks good. She's showing on her cleavage, all her butt and all that stuff. She's showing everything. I'm just following along, just watching along. By the time you know it, slit, he's gone. That's how it describes adultery in the book of Proverbs. It's in chapter 7 or chapter 8 or chapter 6, one of those chapters. But he talks about it, that the promiscuous woman, she calls out at the street corner, looking for a gullible person, a gullible man to ensnare. And it's everywhere. Like, and switching to the topic of being a man in this society, it is difficult. I'm married. Like, married or not married, men are always going to be tempted by a woman's body. Married or not married. I mean, look at the commercials that we got. Half naked women. Why they got half naked women? So men can look and gawk and give up their money. How do men give away their money? One of the ways is through, you see a half naked lady. Oh, here's my money. OnlyFans. That's what OnlyFans is all about. How are they getting money? By being naked. Who's paying? The men. Simple. And married men too. Married men, unmarried men. So as men, we got to decide to have self-control. How to not look at a woman lustfully, with lustful intent. And it's hard, bro, because you go to the gym, majority of the women out there are wearing tight clothing. And as a man, you want to look. We all know this. Women and men, we both know this. We're not dumb. We know that women are like that. It's our, as men, as a man, it's up to me to decide, okay, if I know that woman is over there looking like this, then I need to go the other direction. The other direction. It reminds me of that one passage in I think it's Exodus or whatever. Who is it? Joseph, when he was in Potiphar's house, and Potiphar's wife was, wanting Joseph to make a move on her. Homie ran. He ran away from her. He ran. And in society, if you run, you're a coward. You're gay. You're homosexual. Oh, what's wrong with you, dude? How come you want to look at that girl? What are you a certain way? Are you homosexual? Are you gay? Right? That's how they treat it. That's how they treat you whenever you decide to have self-control. You're treated like which is basically what the Bible calls, a person to be. The grain of salt. The lamp that's on the hill. You go against the grain whenever you decide to do what's right. And I can see how for women it can be difficult, because society's telling women, don't be with that guy. He doesn't make enough money. Don't date that bum. He doesn't make enough money. You want to date that guy who's got the most money. That's what society, and if you don't have that guy, society's going to tell you, oh, no, you're dumb. That's what society's going to tell you. But the right thing to do might be to do is accept reality and be like, okay, who's around me? Where do I live at? Who, you know what I'm saying? At the level that you are, instead of looking too far. You know what I mean? And there's tons of examples out there of women that try to go for that guy way up there and they ain't never got him. What about all the other dudes on the spectrum? You know what I'm saying? Or there's one that's like it's like that one guy or girl that in school with you, They may be ADD, ADHD, or whatever. They're good looking. What's wrong with them? You know what I mean? But you don't want to go date them because your group of girls is like, don't date him. He's the slow guy. Why you want to date him for? You know what I mean? That it's society is it's a killer, man. It's a killer whenever we give into lust and these things. My son's right here. I gotta go, you guys. Stay tuned for the next few videos. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and share. Appreciate y'all. Bye.